sometimes the Fortnite community is, of course, not a very nice place, and that brings us over to this skin, Vic Vice. In this update, 3440, the last update of Chapter 6, Season 2, Nay put this skin in the game. Vic Vice. Never let them forget who owns the street. Vic Vice, part of the Victorious Bruiser set, introduced in Chapter 6, Season 2. We have ourselves, of course, the skin, Vic Vice, a back bling as well, pickaxe, and a nice little weapon wrap to go along with it. But this has caused quite a stir in the community because, as you can see, he is a above average skin. He's a bit more loaded than the skins we're normally used to in Fortnite. And normally in Fortnite, we are used to seeing a lot more slender looking builds from characters, or if they're male, they're more muscular to the point of superhuman physiques in some cases. Like, look at that. I mean, this is deliberately meant to be crazy proportionate anyway, or we get less fish thick. Like, honestly, why are we fat shaming pixels? Like, I remember one specific one which just clicked in my mind when the Opal skin came into the item shop, and the first tweet scrolling down is this. Like, I don't actually think it's necessarily helped when you have, how do I explain this? I was watching, and this tends to happen with creators, streamers. I was watching the Sidemen, and they have this a few times where people operate in this really sort of questionable zone where they think they can join in on jokes. So this week's one basically said, oh, Calyx, you're very middle ground. But, you know, creators who are maybe slightly have a bit more weight to them tends to play on this joke. And I think it's all fun and games when the other creators are joking along, saying, you know, joining in on the fat jokes. But then obviously the community's sometimes impressionable, seeing that sort of stuff, and they think they can join in on the fat jokes and this and that and the other. And it is all fun and games, and, you know, I don't want to be that. I'm not being woke here. Oh my god, he's being too woke here. What I'm trying to say is, there's a fine line between joking with friends and just being a rude little shit. So what I've seen a couple times is people saying that Fortnite, because they're putting this skin in the game, and they're promoting this body type to children. I mean, you know, this body type exists in real life. Children are going to interact with people of this body type. Hopefully their parents are promoting a healthy diet, a healthy life, a balance of eating, fitness, sleeping. Maybe according to a BMI chart is obese, and you're instantly consumed thinking, oh my god, I need to eat food now or something, or completely throw my whole life out the window and have this new, honestly, it's stupid. Or the one I keep seeing, the one that perplexes me is like, oh, we've already had them skins in game before, like, look at Penny. What do you mean, look at Penny? Are we talking about the same skin, guys? What do you mean, look at Penny? What do you mean, look at Penny? If you think that is a negative body image, frick me. Oh, mate. Oh, you're exposing yourself, guys. Honestly, what? Oh, indeed, you think that is somewhat obese or fat, shall we say in this case. So I post this on my YouTube community posts, if that made sense. A lot of conversation about the skin in the community. What are your thoughts? Maybe using a vid. Pay to lose. That's not the only person I've seen saying that. Bigger hitbox I've seen. I've come up with something original. I don't know. It is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is. College JD icon skin. Yeah, I've kind of brushed on that. Yeah, he does kind of play on the joke. And I feel like you kind of create yourself a monster if you play on a joke. I had a similar situation which I kind of think wasn't my fault, but someone said something where I wasn't that comfortable with them, and I was a bit like, you know, we're not there at the moment. But once you create the monster, it's hard to put it back in the box. And Courage JD, I think he's looking trim, man. He's looking trim, to be fair, these days. Looking quite hench. But once you create that monster and you play on it, and obviously when he's playing with his friends also play on it every time they see food or something, or maybe they say he's trash, and they, oh look, oh your skin's in game, it'd be a trash bag. It's like, once you create that monster and you've got your audience watching and they think they can play on jokes, Speed is a very good example for that. Obviously, not in terms of his physique is crazy, but in terms of other things, he plays on these jokes and it compiles, and more people think it's fair and safe to do it. And once you create that monster, it's very hard to put it back in the box. So I'll get close. So I zoom in. Sorry, I'm going to zoom in here. Must be a better way of doing these. I don't mind them adding different body types as skins in the game, but more the better. I'm not one to judge what people like, but I feel like they could have chosen a better design. I think there probably is an argument that the skin is just a little basic, to be fair. Although some people like a basic skin. If it was a very, you know, we know what we're talking about here, and it was a very basic skin, everyone would be like, oh, that's great, that's sick, that's clean. It was clean. So isn't there something, you know, ticking in the mind that you're not quite admitting to yourself? They made him look ugly, in my opinion, and that made it easy for people who hate fat characters to make fun of it. If it were a different skin, like Kyle from Save the World, or a new original one better design, it would have received much more positively by the community. Well, I think I did see some people say, which is crazy, like, this is a crazy video, I know, but some people said Kyle is not as big as his skin. And I mean, it is what it's their opinion. They can have their opinions. But I mean, I know people like this in real life, and you know, they're sound people, they're great people. You know, who struggle with eating, whatever, struggle with health conditions, struggle with food. Like the relationship between them and food is struggle. Yeah, I mean, fair. I'm glad there is now a possibility of more characters in Fortnite. I was tired of everyone looking similar. Like Peter Griffin being jacked. Yeah, I still think there's more a problem with how the character is proportioned between his torso and his legs stuff, so that's why they made him jacked. Nothing to do with the fact he's an overweight character. But besides me being happy for different body shapes for skins, I'm now kind of disappointed I didn't give a body shape to Peter Griffin. And at the same point, I did also put this on Twitter, but I don't think anyone's replied to it. Oh, it's Discord. He looks like God's first attempt at designing Guy Fury. Okay, what's your opinions? What's your thoughts? He's big. Jack Black in Fortnite movie. So yeah, maybe I am regretting doing this video slightly. I was trying to get a bit more of an actual topic of conversation, a little bit more of a debate, instead of trying to just dodge jokes, which I shouldn't be surprised, I guess. But I believe in this day and age there needs to be at least an acceptability that you can, with friends, with family, can make jokes. I feel like in the day of social media, if you try and, what tends to happen is people who are not your friends, who are just on social media, try and make jokes, and everyone's like, oh, I'm just joking, man, you know, just don't take it too seriously, man. When it's like, you don't know me, you don't know what I've been through. You know, people say, yo, back in the day we used to banter, yeah, with your mates. You're now going on social media where people don't know you, and they instantly going to think, well, look at this. I feel like that's what people got to focus on, rather than, oh, people are a bit more closed off nowadays. It's a bit more rigid environment. It's not. You're just trying to do jokes in front of people you don't know. But yeah, that's the point of Vic Vice. I see no personal problem with the skin being in the game, of course. I don't see the argument of this skin being in the game having some sort of negative impact on a child's upbringing. They see the skin and think, oh, you know what? I'm going to ignore my family's healthy living and I'm going to be like this guy. Because of that, well, that's what people seem to be spouting. Unless you drag your kids up and not bring them up, I have no idea. But guys, comment down below what you make of this. And guys, until next time, it has been your boy, Mr. Joe. Until next time, bye-bye. Let me go and eat some food now.